Hey! Welcome back to another video. You guys would have seen in one of my last videos, not one of my last ones, but one from the past, I said I was going to sell all my guns, right? And I did, for the most part. Pretty much all of them are gone. And what I thought I would do for you guys today is to take you through all the things we're going to be doing. I have spoken about some of the builds in the past, so off the side of the screen here, got my laptop, and I had to build a spreadsheet to sort of keep track of everything that's going to happen. What chassis do we have in stock? Which optics do we have in stock? What length barrels? What kind of profiles? What grips will we be running? What ammo should we be shooting? How much stock have we got of the different bullets that we plan on using for these builds? So that's pretty much everything that I've put in the spreadsheet from now. I come from a finance background, as you guys know, so I made a spreadsheet, which is super nerdy to do, but if you want, I'll take you through the spreadsheet. So how this is gonna go, we're gonna start at the little pew-pews and work our way all the way down to the big boom-booms. But first, we gotta watch the intro. Let's go! Okay, so the first two rifles on the list, two Voodoo V-22s. Now Voodoo knocked it out the park a few years ago when they announced their V-22 control round feed rimfire. So the first one's going to have a 22-inch barrel. That's really going to be my NRL-22, NRL-22X, where we're going to stretch out the limits a little bit and also do some extreme long-range 22 stuff. They've both got 40 MOA rails on. The other one has an 18-inch barrel. That's going to be sort of truck gun setup. Now, optic-wise, what I have planned on that, for the longer barrel version, I'm going to run the Strike Eagle 5-25. I think that's going to be a great fit for that. On the shorter version, for the truck gun slash hunting gun, I'm going to run a PST Gen 2 3-15 on that. And really, I'm going to shoot Lapua Center X ammunition in both of those. If you didn't know that, the Voodoo is actually chambered for the Lapua Center X round. I haven't heard of many 22 rimfire manufacturers chambering their rifles for a specific cartridge. So if you didn't know that, Voodoo fans, look into that. Okay, so the next rifle is actually in the same caliber, but it's a different cartridge. Now, once again, just to quickly draw that distinction, caliber refers to the size of the bore, okay, so the diameter of the bore. So 22 rimfire and 223 Remington is a 22 caliber. The cartridge, however, we refer to as either 22 long rifle or 223 Remington. So just to sort of set you up, people do use those terms interchangeably, and it's confusing, but you guys, you know what's going on, so you're fine. Okay, so 223 Remington, that is going to be built on a BAT TR action. Now, I want to thank BAT for sponsoring today's video. I have a great relationship with Bruce and Daryl over at BAT, and when I said to them, listen guys, let's get all my rifles on BAT, they were happy to jump at it and support the channel. So if you want to reach out to them to chat about your next precision rifle action, 208-981-0300, ask for Bruce or Daryl, or you can just visit them at batmachine.com. So I'm going to go BAT TR for the 223 Remington. That it's probably going to go into an MDT ACC chassis because I kind of want my trainer rifle to be the same as my match rifle. Now, very important with that Voodoo, jumping back to the Voodoo, I'm just going to sit back a little bit. With the Voodoo, it's also on a Remington 700 footprint. So that basically means I could take the barreled action of the 223 Remington out, pop over the 22 rimfire and be off to the races. As long as I keep the scopes on everything, I should have a very minimal zero shift. So that's super cool to be able to do that. On that BAT 223, I'm probably going to run a PST 5-25 because I have a few PSTs in stock, so that's really going to be what I plan on using on that. And bullet wise, I'm probably going to end up shooting the 80 grain ELDMs, and I'm hopefully going to be able to propel them to about 2,800 feet per second. I did locate the correct reamer where I have, I think it's a 0.169 free bore, so it should be plenty for seating those bullets out a little bit long, because the last thing you want is to load an 80 grain bullet into a case with 23.9 grain of powder and start crushing powder as soon as you start pushing that ram down. I don't want to do that, and because that's kind of what's happening on my current 223. Then next rifle up, we have spoken about this one in the past, so I'm going to make it brief. Also on a Bat Machine TR 6-dasher, heavy Palmer barrel. By the way, on the 223, also sponsor of the channel, International Barrels out of Canada. They're going to be supplying us with the barrels. So on that 223 Remington, it'll have a 1-in-6 twist barrel. So I've gone 1-in-6 because if I ever wanted to and I want to shoot that 90 grain 8-tips or the burgers, I could do that. As for the 6-dasher, we have I think it's a 1-in-7.5 twist barrel on that 6-dasher, which is pretty much going to replace Alexa as my main match rifle. Now, some cases I probably would still want to shoot the 6.5 Creedmoor, because here in South Africa, quite a few of the places where we have matches, they actually don't have hit indicators, and I'm always a little bit concerned with the little 6mm not hitting quite hard enough. Now, why did I go 6-dasher over something like a 6 Creedmoor or the new 6 GT? I don't know, it's kind of just, I felt like the dasher was plenty. It offered exactly all the characteristics I wanted it. It feeds from the MDT mags, which is for me a must, so that pretty much solved all the feeding issues with the dasher. And the cartridge is known for being inherently accurate and inherently consistent. And for me, I value those two characteristics way over being able to propel something super quickly. And even with my Creedmoor, I always shot it pretty slow compared to what others were pushing their Creedmoors at, because I think the consistency is where we win in this game. So that's why I went dasher with that. And then I'm really excited to shoot 6mm. I'm probably going to end up shooting the 108 ELDMs because I bought a lot of them from Skulk. So I've got a lot of them in stock, so that's what I'm going to run on that. Maybe 110 8-tips if we're getting super serious into this. But you guys know, I mean, the 108 ELDM has a great BC for what it is, so I'm probably just going to stick with that. Next rifle up, by the way, excuse me if I'm glancing off to the spreadsheet here. If you guys want, I could link the spreadsheet to you down below and you can go and check what's going to happen. All these custom rifles are going to be fitted with Bix and Andy triggers. By the way, you can now use the code IMPACT to save $30 off a Bix and Andy trigger at bulletcentral.com. So I'm also going to link that. Just IMPACT, one word, and you're golden for some Bix and Andy triggers. Also, that helps me out a little bit. Full disclosure, if you buy a trigger with them, I earn $30. So, woo! Please support the channel by upgrading yourself with a Bix and Andy trigger. I run the Taxport Pro models, the 2-stage models. I've recently switched over to 2-stage, and I'm slowly replacing all my single-stage ones with 2-stage. The reason I'm doing that is I find that pulling through that first stage, I just have a little bit more feel for when that shot is actually gonna go off. Right, next rifle I'm super pumped for, and I've already named her. Her name's gonna be Sam. Okay, SAM is an acronym for Short Action Monster. It's gonna be a beast, this thing. Okay, so it's gonna be on a Bat Bumblebee action, which is an aluminium action. It's gonna have an International Barrels carbon fiber barrel, 26 inches long. Okay, I'm probably gonna run a suppressor on the front. It should be able to shoot 135 grain ATIP or 140 grain ELDM, somewhere in the 3.5 region. It's gonna be nuts. Okay, so this is gonna be my super lightweight hunting rifle. I'm probably gonna run the, what have I got on here for scope wise on that? I've got the AMG. I'm gonna have the AMG on that because that is gonna be my go-to hunting rifle. So think 6.5 PRC, but like on all the juice. This thing's crazy. So it's basically like it's a 6.5 SAUM, but even quicker than a 6.5 SAUM. So I'm really excited. That's going to be on, it's a 6.5 SS, a Sherman short mag. So I'll have some images up of how they look. I think I've got an image of a 7mm one. So I'm super pumped on that rifle. So that rifle is already being built. We're just waiting on the barrel to come. So International Barrels, let's go baby. It's going to be super cool. Next rifle up, we're going to step up to the 7mm. As you guys know, I sold my 7mm recently. I've got that 7300 that's going to clear customs probably in the next day or two. And that rifle's already got a buyer. And the reason I'm doing that, I'm selling that rifle brand new as it is, because I want to go and have everything on bat. That rifle, there's nothing wrong with it. Also on a custom action, Bartline barrel, muzzle brake, the works. However, I want everything on bat, so I'm going to go bat HR for this next build. 28 Sherman Magnum. It's like a 7300 PRC, but more vicious than that. This thing will do 195 grain burger at 3,100 feet per second, no problem. So barrel life is obviously not going to be awesome, but I've got a very interesting video planned for you guys on barrel life, which I think everyone will enjoy, so more on the barrel life on that later. So on that rifle, I'm going to run a 4.5 to 27 by 56 Razor Gen 2. It's going to be in an ACC chassis with all the weight added, and that's pretty much going to be my extreme steel rifle, long range matches, and I'm thinking I should already order another barrel for that. Speaking of another barrel, I do also have a carbon fiber 7mm barrel for that rifle. I might chamber it up to, and I can always go to the gunsmith and swap out between those two barrels, maybe even take that thing hunting, because that could be a wild hunting caliber, right? If I get the opportunity to go moose hunting or something in Alaska, I don't know how I would deal with the mosquitoes, and I take my hat off to the people that do that. But that could be a really cool caliber to do that with. Then also, next rifle, Bat HR. This is going to be sort of there's a competition here called Send It, which I've only shot once, but I really enjoyed it. I liked the format, I liked the people that were there, and I had a ton of fun. So I'm going to do a 30 Sherman Magnum. So again, think 300 PRC, but the 300 PRC is basically a detuned version of the 30 Sherman Mag. 30, sometimes YouTube says 50 because of my accent, so it's 30 Sherman Mag. Also, 31-inch barrel from International Barrels. I'm probably also going to run a 4.5 to 27 Razor on that, and that's probably going to end up in an MDT ESS chassis or another ACC and just weigh it down all the way. Now the last build, I'm not quite exactly sure what I want to do here. It's going to be a Bat HR action again. I'm thinking of doing a 338, just plain 338 Lepore mag for super windy, extreme steel competitions, or whatever the case. But then I'm going like, if we're gonna play this game, just go all crazy. But I don't want to go like, I need a new press, I need a new this. So maybe 33XC. So the verdict's still out on this last build. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do optic wise. I don't know what I'm gonna do chassis wise. I'm all over the show. It's a little bit of a mess. So that's kind of all the builds we have planned for the channel going forward. Something to keep in mind is that these builds take a lot of time. We obviously need to source the components and stuff like that. And then the other problem, which is something I kind of just have to deal with because I live on the other side of the planet, is that it does take some time to ship stuff to South Africa. So that's going to take a while for these rifles to start showing up. I know the Voodoos are both done. They sent me the shipping confirmation. So the Voodoos are on their way. The Dasher's done. The Bumblebee and 3 of those other rifles should be done as soon as the barrels come in from International Barrels. By the way, they've got a new app out, which is pretty handy dandy. I'm going to leave a link to the app in the description below too, so make sure you check that out. Some cool features with regards to barrel life and things like that. I think you guys could benefit from that. Anyway, I'm just trying to scan and see if I missed something here, but it doesn't seem like I did. So guys, I want to thank you very much for watching. Let me know if you've got any builds planned. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing rifle wise. If you think I need to, if you have ideas for me in terms of the 338 we're looking at doing, then I'd love to hear your feedback on that. Tell me what you think about the new setup behind me with regards to lights and things. Things are looking a little bit different on the channel. So I really always appreciate your feedback, and I value that. I take it to heart because when I make videos for you, I want to make them as good as I can. Speaking of which, if you want to help out the channel, to help us make improvements to the channel, such as this light, such as that light, such as that light, these things all cost money. Never mind the shooting we do for the channel, so there is quite a few monetary expenses that goes into running this channel. But all of this stuff really comes from our Patreon community. So I want to take a second to thank every single one of you that have signed up and that are supporting the channel on Patreon. You guys absolutely rock, and we couldn't do this without you, so thank you. And everybody else, you'll start seeing the benefits of what the guys on Patreon are doing for the channel. So I can't thank you guys enough. I would be rolling their names on the side of the screen here. So yeah, once again, if you haven't already, click here to subscribe. You can join us on Patreon, or as we like to call it, the People of Impact, down here, and check out some of our other videos either here or over here. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.